one of those things that you kind of have to have if you're going to be a church, especially a church that's incorporated like we are, is you have to have some kind of notion of membership. Now, in our church's past, we've tried a couple of different things in terms of, we tried calling them partners at one point in time, and it was a neat idea, but I think it was a little bit too new age for maybe what a lot of us were kind of ready for or really interested in. But we do need to have members. Bluntly, if something were to happen to me, or if there were to be a big major decision, there needs to be some way that we can kind of identify that these are members of our family who have that family interest in what's going on. Now, notice that I call it a family. It's because that's really the crux of how I view members, and I think there's a way to kind of put this into action. You see, at a lot of churches, you end up having membership that looks a lot more like an application process. You almost have to apply. Sometimes that's through walking up to the front of the church or whatever. And then there's some sort of call for a vote and a formal vote. And there's letters of membership and all this kind of stuff. And that's always kind of weird to me because it's like you're joining an organization where there's chapters and you can only be a member one chapter at a time and all that. And that doesn't make any sense to me. Church is supposed to be a family. It's supposed to be your church family. And sometimes we have very few people in our family. Sometimes we have a lot of different families. I mean, sometimes we have, my in-laws are our family. My immediate family here is a family. My extended family with my siblings and my parents, that's another level of family. So we all have many different forms of family in our life. And I think churches are the same way. People get very, very sensitive about where their formal membership is held. But I think something that is very intuitive is, are you a part of this family? So that's what I would like to propose, is that in this church, it's not so much a question of your application or your letter of membership or anything like that, but it's a simple question. Do you consider yourself a part of this family? Now, I'll go ahead and admit to you, this is something I've already tried a couple of times. I actually had a conversation with Jen Thomas a little bit ago. I had another one with Becky regarding, previously when we asked about that partner question, your name didn't pop up on it, but I just want to ask you maybe what kind of sounds like kind of a weird question, but would you consider yourself a member of this family that we have at the Well? And both of them said yes. And I think wording it that way makes it very intuitive. It's very easy to understand. Either I look at this and say, I'm really just kind of showing up every now and then. I'm not really that invested to the point I feel like I'm part of this family, versus I'm showing up every time. I don't know if I would make it some big application and all that, but if you ask me, do I look around the room and I look at these people and do I feel like these people care about me and I care about them? Yes. Well, then I think those people should have a say. Now, that being said, basically what that describes is a system of somebody just attesting that I'm a member of this church. And you can't make it just that simple where somebody is automatically a member because they say they're a member, at least for the purposes of that whole voting thing. So in order to provide some notion of check and balance while still preserving the intent of that family dynamic, what I would suggest is that there be an ability of the elders to be able to look at individuals who have attested that I consider myself a part of this family, and for the elders to affirm what that individual has attested to. Now, when you hear somebody attesting and then you hear another group affirming, that may sound like it's just different words for the applying and approval. And I guess from a legal perspective, it is, but that's kind of the point. I'm trying to somehow figure out a way that we can preserve what it is we should have as far as a legal entity, but at the same time do so in a way that we don't lose our souls and make this just another chaptered, institutionalized thing that's based on Jesus, how we can maintain that feeling of it being a family. And I think allowing people to be able to just simply attest that I consider myself a part of this family, or having a church leader go up to them and just say, you've been a part of this for a while. And I just want to ask, do you consider yourself a part of this family? And if they say yes, then going, okay, cool. Well, yeah, thanks. Yeah, we'll go ahead and add you to the list. And then, on the back end, having the elders kind of affirm that, yeah, we affirm this person is a part of this thing. I don't know that it has to be any more difficult than that. There needs to be something there, but I don't think we need to make people go through hoops. And I think one of the worst things that you can do is sit here and tell somebody that before you can really truly be a part of our family, there's a process you need to follow. And I think this preserves that. So the question for you is, do you agree? Do you think that this system is something that would work? I can tell you that right now we have, based on individuals who attested in the past they wanted to be a partner, which we were very upfront. That's what we at the time called members. We have 11 individuals, and then now I'm looking at my computer screen, 4 other individuals who've said, yeah, I consider myself a part of this family. So I think that this might be something that works, but I'm interested to hear from you. Do you hear problems with this? Is this something that would concern you? Or is this maybe some way of being able to achieve that function that you're looking for in a member without doing so in such a way that people feel like it's this rigid, formalized letter of membership, all that kind of stuff? I think if people want to be members of multiple church families, I'm a member of multiple families, and that doesn't make me any less of a member of any one of them. So I think people, if they feel like they care about the people around them, can say that they're a part of this church family. And as far as the check and balance thing, we just let the elders look at it and go, everything looks above board, and it's all good to go. Is it that simple? What do you think?